Hello, and welcome to Week 13 in our lesson on Abraham Maslow and the Hierarchy of Needs. My name is Kara Garcher, and I will be presenting the first portion of our lesson, which focuses on a brief introduction to Abraham Maslow, as well as to his original hierarchy of needs with its 5 levels. Please refer to our lesson plan for more detailed information regarding the lesson objectives, the key vocabulary, as well as review questions and discussion questions and activities that you can complete upon watching all the videos included in our lesson. Our 2 objectives for this portion of the lesson are that students will be able to define and describe key vocabulary related to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and that students will be able to explain Maslow's hierarchy of needs and its 5 original components. There are 6 important vocabulary words that you should know for this portion of the lesson, and they include hierarchy of needs, physiological needs, safety needs, social needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. Each of these terms will be explained and expanded on throughout the portion of this lesson. I would like to start with a brief introduction to Abraham Maslow's life. He was born in 1908 in Brooklyn, New York, where he was also raised. He was the oldest of 7 children. After receiving his undergraduate degree at City College in New York City, he moved to Wisconsin, where he pursued his graduate degree in psychology. There, he focused his research on primate dominance, behavior, and sexuality, and was mentored by Harry Harlow. Later on, he was mentored by Alfred Adler, who was one of Freud's followers. After graduating with his degree in psychology, he taught on the faculty at Brooklyn College, again in New York. There he was mentored by anthropologist Ruth Benedict as well as psychologist Max Wertheimer. He took notes on them and their behavior, which influenced his lifelong interest in studying mental health and human potential. And this methodology of studying people that mentored him and taking notes on their behavior was the same approach that Maslow used when he later on went on to develop his hierarchy of needs. He picked certain individuals that interested him, and he took notes on them as well as read their writings in order to help develop his theory. I will go into further detail about this qualitative approach, but I just wanted to point out that it was originally influenced by the mentors that he observed while a young faculty member. Eventually, through his research, Abraham Maslow became a leader in the humanistic school of psychology. The humanistic school of psychology is unique because it is a very holistic approach to psychology. In other words, it focuses on studying the whole person. Humanistic psychologists attempt to study human behavior both internally and externally. So for example, they are interested in outsider observations, but they are also interested in what is happening in the eyes of the person being observed. Humanist psychologists believe that a person's actions are related to their internal feelings and their self-concept. They think there is a link between behavior and what a person is feeling inside. Abraham Maslow's work fits perfectly into this school of psychology because it is a very holistic theory. It includes consideration of human physical needs, social needs, emotional needs, as well as intellectual needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory can be conceptualized like a ladder of human needs. The most basic human needs are at the bottom, and at the top are the self-actualizing needs, where a person pursues his or her need to be the best person that he or she is able to be. However, if lower level needs are unfulfilled, a person is not going to be able to climb up to those higher levels, to those self-actualizing levels in life. Here's a quote from Abraham Maslow. "Human nature is not nearly as bad as it has been thought to be." And this sort of showcases Maslow's optimistic approach to human psychology, which is featured in his ladder of human needs. It focuses on this idea that human beings are able to better themselves and move up over time. And this optimistic view of human nature was very unusual at the time, as most of psychology focused on human abnormalities. Maslow preferred to study what he considered to be exemplar humans with a focus on how humans could better themselves rather than diagnosing humans with what was wrong with them. Here is a simple visual of Maslow's original hierarchy of needs, which he published first in 1943. This 5-level theory was featured in his 1943 paper, A Theory of Human Motivation, which was originally published in Psychological Review. He studied what he called exemplary people, such as Albert Einstein and Frederick Douglass. And he used these example human beings to figure out what it looked like when a person had actually reached self-actualization, when they had become the best people that they could be. In contrast, he did not study mentally ill people, which had been the sort of normal mode of psychological study at the time. In fact, he wrote, and I quote, "The study of crippled, stunted, immature, and unhealthy specimens can yield only a cripple psychology and a cripple philosophy." He was trying to produce a psychology that focused on human improvement and human growth, and he wanted to study exemplar examples of humans rather than people that he viewed as sickly. In fact, in his studies, Maslow studied the healthiest, what he deemed the healthiest 1% of the college student population, and as a result, he was able to produce this pyramid. At the lowest level, we have physiological needs. After physiological needs are met, a person can pursue safety needs, then social needs, then esteem needs, and at the top, they reach self-actualization. Here is another quote taken from Maslow's original publication of his theory in 1943. It says, "It is quite true that man lives by bread alone, when there is no bread. But what happens to man's desires when there is plenty of bread and when his belly is chronically filled?" And this points to the basic premise of Maslow's theory. Once our basic needs are met, he theorized that a person would continue along up the hierarchy, working to satisfy higher level needs. And as each additional level was met, a person could continue up along the hierarchy, culminating in self-actualization. Now I would like to give a brief overview with each of the 5 stages in his original theory, and I would like to give examples of each. Biological and physiological needs are the foundation of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and they include survival needs, the needs that all humans need to survive. This includes the need for sleep, the need for food, the need for drink, including water, the need for shelter and warmth, the need for air, as well as reproduction to continue on the human race. These are the most basic and instinctual needs in the hierarchy, and of course they are the prerequisite needs for all other needs in the hierarchy. Again, if these needs are not met, not only does the human body struggle to function, but we aren't able to move up the pyramid to fulfill other needs such as safety and security, belonging or love, esteem, and definitely not self-actualization. However, once these needs are met, a human can move up to the next level, which is safety needs. Safety needs refers to the basic human need for security and protection. Once our physiological needs are met, our safety needs dominate our behavior. These needs have to do with our desire as humans to live in a predictable and orderly world that is within our control, or at least as much as we can control it. Safety needs manifest themselves in a lot of different ways in our day-to-day lives, and this can include job security, law and order, freedom from fear, pursuing financial security, such as maintaining a savings account or investing money, health, purchasing insurance, as well as procuring a safety net in case of unforeseeable circumstances. After our safety needs are met, we can continue on to the 3rd stage in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the social stage. It's also known as the love and belonging stage, and it focuses on interpersonal relationships. This stage is not focused on basic needs, but instead it's focused on our psychological and emotional needs. This stage is particularly important because our relationships with others can limit feelings of stress, anxiety, or depression that we might have without those interpersonal relationships. The primary source of behavior at this stage of development is our need as humans for emotional connections. This can come from a variety of areas, including families, social groups, religious groups, clubs, sports teams, gangs, fraternities or sororities, friendships, or romantic relationships. However, if we are not able to make these connections with others, we make ourselves vulnerable to serious psychological issues such as loneliness, depression, or anxiety. And it is really important for us to meet these social needs, not only to continue along the hierarchy, but also to maintain our emotional stability. After our social needs have been met, humans can continue on to the next level, esteem needs. Esteem needs refer to our need for respect, self-esteem, as well as self-confidence. And esteem needs sort of encompass all the human desires that we have to be both accepted as well as valued by others. As human beings, we all have a desire in all the activities we do to feel a sense of accomplishment. And if you're not able to accomplish these esteem needs, you can develop a sense of inferiority or self-esteem issues. As a result of low self-esteem, you might look to others to help improve how you see yourself. However, Maslow cautioned us that it's really important to remember that until you feel good about yourself, you can't really appreciate what others think about you truly. And for this reason, Maslow was able to categorize esteem needs into lower level and higher level esteem needs. Maslow considered the lower level esteem needs as focusing on the need for the respect of others, whereas the higher level self-esteem needs are more motivated by your internal self-acceptance. For example, lower level needs include our need for status, recognition, fame, prestige, and attention, whereas the higher level needs include our need for self-esteem, strength, competence, mastery, independence, and freedom. Maslow believed that healthy esteem is based on these higher level needs of self-respect, because higher level esteem needs are based on our internal feelings of accomplishment, while the lower level needs are based on external feelings of accomplishment, which have to come from others. If someone is not able to meet these esteem needs, it can lead to an inferiority complex, and a person may feel weak or helpless. This makes it impossible for them to continue on to the final stage in his original theory of self-actualization. A self-actualized person feels completely fulfilled because he or she has accomplished all the things he or she was capable of in life. So whatever that is, like if you feel like you should be an artist in life, a self-actualized artist is one who has achieved complete success and satisfaction as an artist, or whatever other calling they may have in life. And this stage is sort of the culmination of personal growth over a person's lifetime. Going back to the ladder analogy, once a person has reached self-actualization, they're at the top rung of the ladder. And Maslow had a list of some of the qualities that self-actualized people may possess. They are not seen in every self-actualized person, but in many of them. And they include a person who is problem-centered instead of self-centered, a person who is creative, a person who is responsible, a person who is a hard worker, a person who is moral and ethical, and a person who is honest without pretense. So they don't feel the need to put other people down. They are satisfied with themselves and honest about their accomplishments. A self-actualized person feels incredibly fulfilled because they have done everything they set out to do in life and achieved it through personal growth and peak experiences, which are moments of deep meaning or emotion. And the ability to reach this very high level is based on your ability to be constantly reevaluating what you need to reach the accomplishment and fulfillment you seek in life. As humans, we have a psychological need to pursue this personal growth and development throughout our lives. And if you were able to accomplish it, you were able to find true meaning and purpose in your life and able to say you have truly lived. However, Maslow believed that while every person is able to move towards this level of self-actualization, very few people are able to do so. Their progress towards this level is often interrupted because they fail to meet lower level needs. Devastating life experiences, such as the death of a loved one, losing a job, or divorce, can cause an individual to fluctuate between levels and not reach the highest level. In fact, Maslow believed that only 1 in 100 people become fully actualized, as our society tends to reward behaviors based on lower levels, specifically esteem and social levels. instead of pushing people to fully actualize themselves. Now, please take this short